Hi all, welcome to my channel, and in this video we're going to discuss about composite design pattern. In my past videos I have completed creational design patterns and also top 4 structural design patterns. In the next 3 videos I will complete the structural design patterns also. So if you miss the videos, please go and watch those videos. I'll put the link in description. Now let's talk about composite design pattern. Before going into composite design pattern, let's understand how tree data structure will basically look like. So what are the main components in tree data structure? So tree has different set of nodes. Top node we basically call as root, and also there are like children for the root, and children will have subchains. So those children which has subchains will basically called as parents, and those children which are like at the bottom of tree, we don't have any subchains, will basically called as leaf nodes. So this is the exact same pattern will applies to the composite design pattern also. We'll look in a short time. Let's understand the definition of composite design pattern. Composite is a behavioral design pattern that lets you compose objects into tree structure and then work with these structures as if they were individual objects. Which means, let's say we are in an organization where we have a CEO, and CEO has direct reportees, and each other reportee has sub reportees. And finally there are few people who don't have any reportees. Let's say there are basically level 1 people, software engineers or junior design engineers or marketing engineers. So when we increase the each level rate, those increasing levels basically called as parent. So in the composite design patterns terms, we'll basically call these four as leaf nodes, which is exactly we know, and these four are basically called as parents, right? And in the composite design pattern we'll basically call as composite. If you see the class diagram, you'll understand. So we have leaf and we have a composite class. Both are basically implementing the component interface. So component is an interface which has a common set of operations which has both leaf node and composite perform. But there are few operations where leaf node cannot be performed. Let's say adding, removing, get child. Let's say I am a software engineer. No one is basically reporting to me. So which means I basically make calling myself as a leaf node. So my manager, he or she is basically composite class. She can add new employees. She can add remove employees. She can get the list of employees. So which means all the operations which are in component applies to the composite class. As my manager. So this is general class diagram. As we discussed, component declares as an interface, and leaf node is basically leaf represents a leaf object in composition which has no children, and composite defines the behavior for components having children. So yeah, you can go through this particular doc. Let's discuss whatever we have discussed here, right? Let's convert this into Java program. So here I will explain the two ways. One is basically each node I'll make it as each class, and second thing is I'll make only one class and one leaf node. Then you can understand difference between both of two. Now let's say I should have a component, right? I declare a component called employee. So employee has one public function called print employee details. So next thing let's talk about composite. So I have a CEO, which is composite class, which implements the employee. It can perform add, remove, and also print the employee details. Similarly, CEOs might have product owners also. Product owners also can do add, remove operations. Managers can do add, remove operations. And at last, the leaf nodes here I am categorizing as developers. I cannot have any add, remove operations. I cannot do anything because I am the leaf node. So how can we identify who is manager, who is CEO? Through help of position enum, CEO, product owner, all these things. So if you see into the driver program, basically in this diagram, basically client code. If you see the client code here, initially I was declared two developers called Mark and Elon, and there are two managers, Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella, and there are two product owners, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. And there are one CEO, that's of course me. CEO has all the employees, but CEO's direct report is basically P1 and P2, which means two product owners. And each product owner has a direct reporting called manager 1 and manager 2. and manager 1 has direct report to dev 1 and manager 2 direct report has dev 2. So at last dev has like we cannot add anything like to the dev, right? So we cannot add employee, we cannot remove employee under dev. So instead of add employee, the better way we call it is like add reporter like. So if you see here, right, if I am printing the info details of the CEO, whenever I print the info details of CEO, I'll get the complete details. So let's say I am printing the info details of like let's say dev1 dot print employee details. I shouldn't get anything under report is, right? So that is the basic difference between the leaf node and also composite node. So developer don't have any report is, but CEO has like the report is called two product owners, and each product owner has like a reporting called manager, and each manager has like developer. So that's the complete hierarchy will look like it's a complete tree data structure. If you understand clearly, we have a something object called position object where we can identify the particular employer, right? So why can't we make a single composite object called employer? So with the help of position object, I can identify who is this employee, is CEO or manager or product owner. So this employer is basically has like add, remove and get permissions. And also let's make this developer as like leaf node. So if you see my driver 2 program, so I have like employer is there. So if you see difference between the driver 1 and driver 2, driver 1 has like different classes, like each class acts as a composite. But here in the driver 2 program, only employer class is there. Employer class itself acts as a composite like. So employer, so there are two leaf nodes and there are like 5 composite nodes. So this everything was same. I am not changing anything. So if you run the program, right, so you will clearly say, so let's say CEO has like a reporting employee called Bill Gates, and Bill Gates has reporting Sundar Pichai, and Sundar Pichai and Mark has to report to Sundar Pichai. Similarly, like Elon has to report to Satya Nadella, Satya Nadella reports to Steve, and Steve directly reports to me. Like, so this is the hierarchy. Like nothing changes between the driver 1 and driver 2, but driver 2 makes even more like flexible because of single class called employer, which acts as a composite. So this is the very simple design pattern in the structural design patterns. If you have any doubts, anyway, I'm sharing complete thing in the GitHub, right? You can go and read and you can download the code. So I will soon meet with the next video called facade design pattern. Yeah. And last one more thing, please like and subscribe to my channel so that I can make even more better videos and even more informative videos. We'll meet soon in the next video. Bye bye.